Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today we're checking out a 2025 Hyundai Sonata in the inline trim level. The name of this color is Carbon Blue, and the sun keeps going behind the clouds. And when the sun's not shining directly on it, it kind of looks like a black. But it's kind of like a steel blue. Hopefully the sun will come out in a second. But yeah, so you can see right here, this is a gloss black right here. And that's the blue color here. So you can see them, when they're side by side, you can kind of tell the difference there. There you have the matte blacks here in the front. So it's a combination of gloss black, matte black, body color. There's also some gray mixed in here. So a lot going on here in the front of the vehicle. So even these little accents here at the bottom, kind of interesting. Now it has an accent light that goes from one side to the other all the way across the vehicle. It looks really good. You can check out my night video. I show all the lights and how well the headlights work and all that stuff. They are pretty good. A little spoiler there, the headlights are decent. Pretty impressive. Yeah, definitely an interesting looking vehicle, especially the inline. Now the inline also has this light right here. So instead of having a turn signal indicator here on the side mirror, they have it right here, similar to a Genesis will have it right there. And so that helps out with letting other vehicles know that you're turning and that kind of stuff. So there is some of that gray we saw here in the front, there at the base of the door as well. So it's like you see it looks like a matte black and that gray. It's kind of hard to tell with this color, it kind of blends in. But yeah, it's an impressive color when the sun shines directly on it. It's like a steel blue. Has body colored handles, upper portion of the side mirror is body colored. And it has a sunroof that kind of blends in here on the top. And check out these inline wheels. They are 19-inch and it has like a matte black. And it's fairly easy to clean. I mean, some of the matte blacks have like a texture to them that makes, brake dust and stuff kind of embed in them. This one's fairly easy. It's more like a semi-gloss, I guess. Just the complexity of the wheel makes it a little bit harder to clean, but as far as the surface itself, it's not too bad. This is what the key looks like, and has the egg shape they've used for a little while now. And it's a little bit large. It's rounded, it's fairly light, but it's just a little bit on the large side. It takes up your whole pocket basically. But yeah, it has a lock, unlock, remote start, panic button, and the ability to open up the trunk. But yeah, I guess it's okay. It's just, the smaller the key fob, smaller, lighter, easier to carry is better in my book. But it's the type of system that has the sensor behind the handle to unlock it, and then the sensor to lock it is right here where that dimple is. There's also a physical key location behind this cover. You just take that off and you can use the physical key, which is not inside the key fob. It's on a separate, basically you have to keep it on your ring. The interior is pretty nice. It's like this gray color, not too dark. It has these red accents as well. This is all soft touch here, 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 and then you have the hard touch surfaces at the bottom. I like the way this handle is not just in one spot. It's like half the door is a place where you can close basically grab the door and close it, but also can serve as a pocket. It's really easy to just slip your phone in there. That's a really good spot. Then you have the pocket there at the bottom. It has a really good Bose sound system. There's one of the speakers here and here. Really impressive. Sounds good. When you crank it up, it sounds even better. Really appreciate a nice sound system. So there's no fancy seal plate or anything here in the threshold or anything, but it does have a height adjustment. It is a manual seat, but the height adjustment helps out. And check it out, it has like this simulated leather, and then this kind of like a suede material here. Looking good. Has the inline. These bolsters are a little bit much, but they're okay I think for most people. There's a little pocket right here as well, right there. And there's a decent amount of legroom here. Non-locking glove compartment. This is hard touch. Smooth plastic, pretty good size. No light in there. A little spoiler for the night video. And it has like this kind of like a carbon fiber look right here. A red line, looking nice. It is the red line. And then it has a kind of rubbery, soft, non-reflective dash there. It's all gray, all kind of grayed out. Keeping with that theme. Even the steering wheel is gray. Some vehicles have like the interior color, but then the dash and all that stuff is all the exact same thing on all the colors. This one has a sunroof as well. You can see the opening is great. Getting in and out of the vehicle is not a problem. Since it's a car, a sedan, it is low compared to like say a SUV or a crossover or whatever. But yeah, it's easy to get in and out of. The back door, I wish the back door, the swing of the door would be a little bit wider, but as it is, it's okay. There's enough room to get in and out. And there's a substantial amount of room here in the back. Even with the seat, the driver's seat all the way back, there's still plenty of room back here for passengers, and I can fold the seats down to expand the trunk space. So really nice as far as the legroom here. See, the inside of the back door has the soft touch surfaces here. And I always say soft touch, it's like not super soft. It's like just basically a cloth material over hard surface, but it does have the stitching back here and all that stuff. It's very similar style as the front door. Basically a bench seat here, and it has the ISOFIX system here, but it has like this little spring-loaded feature. I don't know if you can tell, but when you press it, it gives you access to the latch system, and it's spring-loaded, so it stays in place. There's not like a cover that you have to take off and find a place for. But yeah, that's well done. And there's the cup holders and armrest. Not soft, hardly at all. It's kind of like a brick in there. Luckily, that flips up. Has the net pocket on the back of this seat, but not the driver's seat. There's two USB-C ports here. Pretty significant hump there. So yeah, center passenger will have to deal with that. But how often do you have a center passenger in a sedan? Taking a look at the back, it has a gloss black shark fin antenna up here. The third brake light is there at the top of the glass. Check out the night video, I'll show all that stuff. Then there's a deck lid spoiler, once again gloss black. And I wish the sun would stay out so you can see the difference between the blue and the black here. Hopefully you can see it. But yeah, the back end looks cool. Has some more styling here with the gray, or I guess it's silver. The backup camera is near perfect position. It's in a high center position. It's not in the very center though, but yeah, it's for integrated well. That's looking good. And the taillights are an LED, once again, a strip that goes all the way from one side to the other. Really nice. Looking good. Now this right here is a smooth, like this is all just smooth right here. So even though there's like all this design, it's just smooth on the outside. It's like a clear cover. So when you're cleaning it, it's so much easier to clean this area when it doesn't have all that complexity to have to clean out. So that's pretty cool. And check out the exhaust tips. A little bit much for a 4-cylinder, but it looks cool. To open the trunk, there is a button right here. I wish they put the camera in the center and just like put the button above or below it instead of like trying to have nothing in the center. They're just neither one of them is in the center. Just a little bit bothersome to me anyway. So you just press that and it lifts up, spring loaded, but it'll lift up all the way. This is nice when you use the key and you're approaching the vehicle with a bag or something and you hit the button, pops up for you out of the way. The trunk space is pretty good, even the height. Usually I have an issue with using equipment in a trunk and not a hatchback, but the height is decent enough to where I can open up my case, get my equipment out. So yeah, the height is good, the width, the depth is decent. There is some exposed metal under here. It has a really not all that great cargo light, as we saw in the night video, but overall it's pretty good. Now, one thing that I would recommend, this surface right here is slippery as glass. It's like ice on glass. So things slide around easy. So I would recommend getting a rubber mat, you know, like a cargo mat or something to put in here to keep things from sliding around, because it has been an issue. Now these seats still fold down. There's the latch right here and here to fold them down. And it's a 60-40 split. It's not completely level with the cargo area, but it does give you the ability to add some space to the cargo area when you need it. Now under here is no spare tire, just a tire inflator kit. So keep that in mind if you're going on a trip, especially on the weekend. Hopefully there's an upgrade for that. The fuel door is here on the driver's side. It is locking when it locks with the vehicle basically. And it has a traditional cap, tether, and a little place to hang the cap there on the inside of the door. Now it does not require premium fuel, but it is a turbocharged engine. So for longevity, couldn't hurt to use premium fuel. Starting it up, as long as you have the key inside the vehicle, just press the brake and then press this button to start it up. Here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat, and you see it has the sporty pedals, accelerator, brake pedal, and a footrest. All of them are fine, plenty of room there. The floor mat snaps in place, or hooks in place on this side. So let's take a look under the hood. Right now, with the vehicle started, you can see the daytime running light, but you can see it's only on the outer side, but it connects when you turn on the parking lights or the headlights. Pretty cool. So opening it up, there is a latch a little bit to the right of center, so the right of the emblem right here, you just reach in, move it to the left, and lift up. So basically that's what you're doing here. So you can see there's some insulation under the hood. There's also some heat shielding there as well. And the engine compartment is fairly full. There is some seals around it as well, but yeah, it's filled up. Now the suspension towers are braced in with the unibody structure of the vehicle here. The reason why it has that heat shielding there and on the firewall, which is also insulated, is because the turbocharger is back here. So the intake is here, the exhaust is back here, and that's where the turbo runs off the exhaust. So there's a lot of heat buildup back here. So you have not only the exhaust back there, but you also have the turbo, which is, creating heat in itself. So all that heat shielding is to try to keep that from building up in the cabin and interfering with other things. And I like the way it's actually in the back and not in the front, because vehicles that have the turbocharger in the front, it starts dumping a lot of heat in with where the cooling system is, so it kind of competes with the cooling system. So in this case, it's probably well done where it is. It's a front-wheel drive vehicle, and you can see the engine is this way. So here's the front of the engine, there's the back of the engine, transmission is down there. The battery's over here, it's easy to get to. And there's your air filter and stuff like that. I like the way it has just like a little latch to open it up and take the air filter out. Easy to deal with here. This vehicle is powered by a 4-cylinder, 2.5-liter direct injection turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. And it's pretty impressive. Puts out 290 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque. Now the horsepower comes in at 5,800 RPM, so that's a lot of RPMs to get that horsepower. But the torque at 311 pound-feet of torque, this is what gets you accelerating, comes in at 1,650 RPMs to 4,000. So it's a nice broad range, and it comes in low. At low RPMs, you have that torque. So yeah, it's pretty impressive when you're accelerating. But yeah, if you just like blow past the 4,000 RPMs, then it's not going to be as impressive or satisfying. Now this is paired to an 8-speed dual clutch transmission. So it's a little bit different driving experience than a normal transmission. It wants to engage or disengage, and there's a little bit of a lag sometimes when you first get going. But once you're accelerating, it is very satisfying because it has that solid lockup between shifts, and just an exhilarating acceleration, especially with this torque and horsepower. This one does have the blind spot detection system, and the indicator is here on the side mirror. It's a little triangle on the mirror itself. It will illuminate when there's a vehicle in your blind spot. The driver's side door is just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. You have the front two with one touch up and down, and it is laminated glass up here. The back windows, you do have to hold the button, and they do go almost all the way down, but not quite. Side mirrors are adjusted here. Now the driver's seat, unlike the passenger side, is a power seat, so you're able to go up, down, tilt, and all that stuff, tilt the back. There's also a two-way lumbar adjustment, and remember I mentioned these bolsters on the seat. This one has a bolster adjustment, which I put it all the way out because it can be very intrusive, but having the ability to pull it in and out, basically depending on your needs, is pretty good, because these bolsters stick out quite a bit. So yeah, some people might not like that, but being able to adjust them is nice. Here to the left of the steering column, there's a electronic parking brake, and it engages the rear wheels. The ability to open up the trunk, dimmer switch for the interior gauges. Traction control is here. Default is off or on, but this is the off button basically. And then there's a tilt and telescoping steering column. You see it does have paddle shifters. You see them right there. Okay, so I thought I had the seat all the way back. It was not. It goes back even further than what I had it. It goes way back here. And so yeah, this is too far back for me to drive, and I'm 6 feet tall. So yeah, you can be very tall and drive this vehicle apparently, because it is just crazy how much room is here. Now, there's plenty of room here on the left and right. So yeah, I hadn't had any problems as far as the room here, but let's go ahead and pull it up. Let's see here. Yeah, about 5 or 6 inches more in order to get to the point where I can reach the pedal safely and the angle on the footrest is right. But yeah, pretty impressive amount of legroom here, or the potential legroom anyway. So the steering wheel, it has the perforations there on the sides, kind of sporty look. It has these little grips here and here, kind of making it look more sporty. It has the red stitching and all that. End line. Pretty cool, and I like the way it matches the color of the vehicle, the interior color scheme that's going on. And like I said, it has the paddle shifters here on the back, so if you want to shift through the gears manually or have some control over the shifting of the dual clutch, wet dual clutch transmission, you can do it there. Now the cruise control is here on the left side, and it is adaptive cruise control, which you can set the distance between you and the vehicle in front of you, and you can pause and resume here, turn it on. I like the way you just drive, you start driving, you just press this one button, engages it, sets it, and everything with that one button. Then you can adjust it here. And then there's a lane keep assist system, which works well. And then there's this pages button and this little scroll wheel here. We'll get to that in a minute. That corresponds with the screen. Here on the right side is the volume for the radio. Mode is your audio source. There's voice recognition, single button for your phone. And then you have this other button right here for changing through the track. So it's kind of like a list. So when you go up, that's going to the previous song. When you go down, it goes to the next song. Some vehicles have like an up and down that's like backwards. So it's like pulling down and goes like backwards. I don't know. This one is more logical to me anyway. There's the wiper controls there on the right side, and the turn signal and headlight switches here on the left. And I like the way when you turn this, it shows up on the screen and show you what you're selecting. This is handy at nighttime, or just anytime really. It's just nice to have that popping up. Since you have a full digital gauge cluster, why not make use of it like that? So right now it's a digital speedometer, and then you have the fuel gauge there, and here on the right side is your RPMs. You can see it has like a little visual right there, and then exact number, engine coolant temperature. There's the odometer, and then what gear you're in, and then the outside temperature. Now the center information right here, remember these buttons here, I'll call this the pages button, and then this little scroll wheel, and then you can press in for OK. So I'm going to go on the pages button first, cycle through. There's 3 options here. 1, 2, 3. The first one has vehicle information, in which you can scroll up and down and get more information here. Going to the next one just shows a digital compass. The next one will be the status of your assist systems, like your lane keep assist system, adaptive cruise control, that kind of stuff. There's also different styles here. So we're in simple styles. So you can see it says simple and classic, but there's different views. There's A, B, and C for the simple. So let's just look at that. There's A, there's B, and then there's C. And then we'll go to the classic, classic C, classic B, and classic A. But you notice there's no digital speedometer under the classic, so I'm spoiled with the digital speedometer, so I'm gonna go back to the simple view. So the shifter is right here, and I really like it. It's a non-traditional shifter. It's basically an additional stock, and it's just the end piece that turns. So right now, if we wanna go into drive, we just turn this forward like that. Now we're in drive. If we wanna go in neutral, pull it back gently, it puts it in neutral. All the way back is reverse. Press the button on the end right here to go and park. So once you get used to it, it's really good. Let's go ahead and put it back in reverse so you can see what happens here with the camera system. It has active guidelines, it looks good. It doesn't have any like top-down view or anything on this one, but it does have this view, and this view. So I guess this is close to a top-down view, but it's more so just backing up to a trailer or something like that, or getting close to something. And then you have the camera settings, which you can adjust here. The center touchscreen has different profiles you can set up here. And then this is the home screen. It's kind of like a split between the navigation, media, phone. And as you swipe to the right, you'll have these different tile icons: phone projection, which would be Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You have weather, you have voice memos. You hit that and record your voice if you're driving and you want to remember something. That comes in handy. You can look up sports as a valet mode. You have a setup as well, and then you have these additional ones here as well. There is an online manual, but if you press that button, it's just going to give you a QR code. I wish it was actually on the screen. You can also pull down from the top here, and you have some quick controls. That could be handy sometimes. Let's look at the navigation map. Looks pretty good. You can zoom in and out, pinch zoom it. You can do searches here and set up your, save different locations, that kind of stuff. So the media is here. You have Bluetooth audio, Sirius XM, AM, FM, and then of course USB, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. You have physical buttons down here, kind of redundant, so that way you can quickly go to different places on the screen, and they're very useful for sure. There's a physical volume knob, tuned to the stations, and then your climate controls down here, driver and passenger temperatures, and then you have an automatic function. It actually has 3 stages, so you have a low, medium, and high automatic function. You can manually control the fan there, where you want the air to blow, recirculate the air, front and rear defrosters. You also have heated seats here on the front, and it's a 3-stage heated seat for the driver and the passenger. You can turn the system off here as well. So down here it has some USB-C ports. This one has a selection. You can either have just charge, or charge and then connect with the system. Let's say you want Apple CarPlay to be wired or whatever. You can do that. Or if you just want to plug it in and charge. This is great because there's times in which I plug a phone into a vehicle and it just all of a sudden starts installing all this stuff and wants to do all this connections and all this stuff. I don't want to do if you don't want to do that, you just simply hit the switch, it goes to charge, you don't have to worry about all that stuff. This is just charge, and then you have a charge status of a wireless charger right here. So a lot of times you'll put on a wireless charger, you'll put your phone there and you don't know for sure if it's charging. There's no easy way to find out unless you look at your phone. Like in my case, I have a case that covers up the screen, right? So having the status light is nice. It also shows here on the screen right here in the corner that it's charging. And this charger actually works well. It's very easy to take the phone and position it properly. It has these little stoppers here. And then even with this large case, it charges every single time. There's also a 12-volt power supply here. Little storage area to the right of the charger. One right here as well. It has like a little rubber floor in there, which you can take out. Doesn't want to cooperate right now, but yeah, you can pull it out and clean it and put it back in. You also have different drive modes here. So press the button and you can go to normal, sport, or my drive, which is you can customize it. Normal seems fine. Hadn't any problem with just driving in normal. I have the acceleration and all that stuff when I want it. You notice that there's no idle stop button anywhere. This vehicle does not have idle stop. That's a huge selling point right there. Does have an auto hold, and then you can press this button to access the camera, which is basically just the backup camera, but still being able to see it when you're not in reverse could come in handy. There's your cup holders. You have a large one here in the front, smaller one in the back, and has these little spring arms as well. Now this armrest is pretty decent soft. It feels like rubbery soft, but it's contoured nicely. I hadn't had any problems with it. You press this button and it lifts up and doesn't slap back down on you. It has a little bit of a spring tension to it. And it has this compartment. You notice it doesn't have like a quick access tray or anything. I got a bunch of junk in the way. So I got my business cards, headphones, all that, but right there is the compartment. It's not super deep, but it does have a felt lining. Now I would change this felt with a light colored one so that way you can see in there a little bit easier. See how much easier it is to see when it's not so dark? But yeah, that's what I would do. But yeah, it looks good. It's not, it works well. There's nothing, there's no like things that get in the way. There's no connectivity either. There's an auto dim rear view mirror, and it's auto dimming now because I have the light, a shade over the light sensor, which is located back here. There is some tap lights here, interior lights. You do have you can turn the interior lights to where they don't turn on when you open the door by pressing that. You have the Blue Link emergency stuff, and then the sunroof control there. We'll get to that in a second, the sunroof. The visor is a cloth material, just like the headliner. It's black, has a little clip here, has a nice big mirror, but the light doesn't turn on by itself. You have to turn it on or off here. It does slide out as well. It gives you decent coverage. Now the sun's out. I was trying to show you the color, and then the sun is now out. But anyways, okay, so let's look at the sunroof. So it has a panoramic sunroof. The back portion is fixed, and then the front portion moves, and it has a power shade. But let's go ahead and move it back. Let's see what's going on there. All right, as far back as it goes. And there is a shade that covers 100% of the light. It's like a cloth here. So that's good. Looking at the visibility here in the back, not bad. The pillars aren't overly huge. It has windows there. Yeah, not bad at all as far as visibility. Headrests are not really an issue. And with the camera and the blind spot detection system, rear cross traffic alert and all that stuff, it just basically not really an issue either way, but still have to look out sometimes. And here in the front, this pillar, there's plenty of space here. So yeah, I hadn't had any problem with visibility on this vehicle at all. Very easy to drive, good turning radius, good sound system. But yeah, it's other than there's just I don't really care for the dual clutch transmission. I don't really care for the overly bolstered seats. But other than that, it's a very enjoyable car to drive. The suspension system, cornering, curves, acceleration, fuel economy, I think it looks good. You know, a lot of pluses on this vehicle. So this one has the 2.5 liter turbo, which has a lot of power. It feels good. It has the 8-speed dual clutch transmission, okay? This is a little bit of a, you know, whether you like it or not type thing. It does give you exhilarating acceleration at times, and satisfying, you know? But like just kind of like creeping forward and when you're going slow, let's say you're parking or something like that, it either engages or it disengages, and it's kind of hard to creep forward because it wants to either engage or disengage the clutch, right? It doesn't want to, like, you know, so sometimes it has like a weird feel. But as far as just like regular acceleration, it is very satisfying because each time that transmission locks up solidly, just like a manual transmission, it has that type of clutch, pretty much. It has that feel anyway. And so yeah, it has that, you know, solid lockup and satisfying, you know, acceleration between shifts, and, you know, so yeah, it's very satisfying as far as the stepped acceleration. And yeah, the engine is powerful, so it's pretty impressive as far as the acceleration for a 4-cylinder engine. It's you know, it's not like a race car or anything, but, you know, for what it is, it feels pretty good. It is fun to drive. And the handling is good too. It can handle, it stays pretty flat when you're going around curves. The exhaust is a little bit, you know, they kind of like made it a little bit extra loud, and just to make it cool, I guess. But, you know, I prefer to be a little bit quieter, especially, I mean, it's just like a 4-cylinder exhaust. It's not like it's, you know, it doesn't sound like a rumble or anything like that. So it's just kind of like unnecessarily, they just kind of made it a little bit louder than what it could be, which some people like that, especially when it first starts up, a cold start, the exhaust behind the vehicle, just, I don't know, it's a little bit, I don't know. I don't really care for making it unnecessarily loud. It's not really going to make a difference as far as performance and stuff. But you just have to hear it inside the house when it starts up, right? Like, for some reason. But yeah, and you know, it has a little inside the vehicle is fine. The engine isn't overly done as far as that goes. It's just the exterior exhaust, you know, outside the vehicle could be a little bit quieter. And like most vehicles, when you accelerate, if you don't like peg it to the floor, it feels like it's more satisfying because, you know, you're not like blowing past the RPM range. Even with it being a turbo engine, you know, there's still an RPM range in which it's most efficient with the acceleration and power. And so if you kind of accelerate without, you know, just flooring it, it just feels better and more powerful. The ride is stiff enough to be sporty, but it's not overly stiff to where it's like jarring and uncomfortable. And it stays flat in curves. And it's, yeah, I mean, the handling and everything, it's really, it's pretty impressive, you know, for what they're going for. As far as the cruise control, it does well. Like most Hyundais, it does well. And the lane keep assist system is pretty good. I mean, it usually holds the lane. It doesn't really fight with me too much. And it does not have a grip sensor, but it has a very, very sensitive torque sensor. So, you know, so as you're holding the steering wheel, it can usually tell if you're holding the steering wheel. Even the slightest movement of the steering wheel, it can tell. So that very, very sensitive torque sensor is good. I mean, it's almost as good as a grip sensor. You know, grip sensor I think would be better, but as it is, it seems to work fine. Yeah, it feels good. I mean, it feels like it's pinning you to your seat. Overall, I like the layout. Now, you know, for me, this seat is not like bad, but it's not. It could be a little bit more comfortable for me in my particular situation. You know, it has some significant bolsters, and I don't know. I think the position of the seat is okay. I mean, there's enough room and everything for the most part. I mean, but yeah, a little bit snug on the bolstering, but not painful like some vehicles. Some vehicles is like painful to drive. This one is fine. I mean, it's not really a big deal. It's one of those vehicles, and that's the way Hyundai is sometimes, where the more you drive it, the more you really appreciate it. The overall layout and of things over here going on, so like say the cup holders and where you put the cell phone and all that stuff, and the armrests, you know, they're okay. You know, like it's designed good, and the steering wheel comfort is good. I do like the shifter. You know, once you get used to that shifter, it's nice. It's really convenient, and just it might take some people it's a little getting used to, but it's like it's really good, you know, once you get used to it, because it frees up, you know, anything that could be here. Like if you had a big shifter over here, it just frees all that space, and you can have right where your right hand is, and instead of a shifter, you can have all this other stuff that you can, you know, use, you know. So yeah, it just kind of frees up this area.